Welcome back to the Road Show. This morning in the Buzz, some interesting new developments on Rhode Island's big finish in the race to the top, because not every school district is going to benefit from the new cash flow. Both Little Compton and Charahoe school departments refused to fully sign on the state's reform plans. Now, Little Compton initially rejected the race to the top, but later they tried to get on board. But the state says it just didn't embrace enough change. Meanwhile, Charahoe administrators say they feared supporting a school funding formula which they thought would negatively impact the school district. Take a look.
The school committee was really reluctant to take funding for factors they didn't agree with.
I was disappointed. I have a letter that is gone to the commissioner asking the commissioner if she would reconsider and allow us to be a participating member in Race to the Top.
Now, Charahoe says it has no regrets over the decision, but what do you guys think? Should these two districts be allowed to, participate? And, I mean, all this money is coming into the state. Should they be allowed to get a piece of that pie?
Well, I would say unless they made a mistake on the application, and, it was a...
Which New Jersey did, by the way.
Which New Jersey did.
One mistake on a page...
How many pages was it?
A 1,000-page entrance, application, and they didn't get any money at all.
Unless you make a mistake, it's almost like... the lottery numbers come out the next day, and you're like,
I should.
Wait a second, I should have. I know. I got to go back to the convenience store. I know I played those numbers. This is wrong. It's gonna be. I want the money. I think if like the ship has left the dock here. I mean, you missed out. And I think with Little Compton, they're not. They don't sound as steadfastly stuck to their ground as Charahoe does. Charahoe sounds like we're good, but Little Compton wants in. So
I wouldn't be happy if I were a parent of a student of one of those schools who are going to miss out on that money. But that said, they have their school department, and this is the decision that their leaders made, and they got to live with that decision. They're not going to get. And Deborah Gist has been very
vocal.
Very vocal. She has had a hard line in every decision that she's made. It seems like the ones that have been public, and this is no different. And I think she's probably going to stick to her guns, and they're going to learn a lesson from it.
Yeah, I think there's another side to this where you could say, listen, it doesn't hurt to ask, but at this point, I think Catherine Crowley looks like a fool.
Yeah.
I'll say it honestly, because to say no, we're not going to participate, and then afterwards, it's just, the lottery correlation that you made, it's just exactly the same. And I think that for Charahoe, they're saying, listen, we had some problems. We realize there's a lot of money, but maybe they're looking at it from the perspective of money doesn't solve all the problems. There are certain strings attached. There are certain things that they're asking us to do that we don't agree with. And so, quite frankly, as much as it hurts right now, we're okay with our decision. And in fact, both districts have congratulated the state on winning. But I think when it comes to Little Compton,
did you hear some of the reasons why Little Compton? They said that it's a small district. They didn't want some of their teachers taken away to have the training that's involved with some of the money that's coming, because it's going to fund training and re-educating teachers and administration. So they're that one seemed a little. I think we could get around that one. In other words, just for the short time that we do the training. But it also has to do with the money. If you're going to get the money, you're going to have to go through stricter teacher evaluations, and involves with the student scores will kind of relate into what the teachers' salaries are, so maybe they didn't like those rules.
I think, too, one of the issues, and I think it was Charahoe had, was that money was going to be taken away from some of the public schools to go towards new charter schools.
Right.
And I think that's one of the issues that they had, and maybe that's enough for them to say, okay, well, fine, we're going to walk away with it.
And if they're okay with that, that's fine. The only thing I have to think about with Little Compton is, there are times where you say to your kids, put your pencils down, you're out of time for this test. You don't then say to the kids, you've got 5 more minutes.
You want to change your answer.
Or if an assignment is due, you don't say, well, you weren't really sure if it was due on that day, so we're going to let you mail it in. No, of course not. So Little Compton should be held to the same standard. In any case, I want to throw it over to Mel, because Mel, a lot of parents in the different districts are going to be feeling a lot of different ways about this morning.
Oh, they definitely are, and I have to say, I'm kind of torn between the two of them. Normally, I would say, you snooze, you lose, sorry, you missed out. But the other side of me says, it is for the kids. So let them come back in, let the kids benefit. So it's kind of a tough choice for me. But let's head on over to the live blog right now on foxprovidence.com and see what some of our bloggers have to say this morning. Diana says, I think all the schools should benefit from it, even if they didn't participate. The state won, not any individual school district. And in case you're joining us this morning, I posted the buzz question on foxprovidence.com. You'll find it right under the live blog. And today we're asking, should school districts that opted out of Race to the Top now benefit from it? Your choices are A, yes, it will benefit the children, or B, no, they had their chance to take part. And our friends on Facebook are weighing in this morning. Caitlin Rice says, I think they should. It's just like voting. Say someone voted for McCain for president, but McCain lost. When President Obama does something beneficial for the country, does the person who voted against him not benefit? And Donna Michelle says, the grant is for the children of Rhode Island, not for this district or for that one, but for all of the children. And Teresa Meyer says, yes, it's not about who opted in or out. The children are the ones that ultimately benefit from us. And Chris Al from The Bachelorette is on the live blog this morning, so if you're not already on the live blog, jump online and blog with him. I'll be back at the end of the show with your web poll results, but for now, let's send it